Yo, YouTubers. Remember Love Boats? Remember the black dude used to go? Right. Out my window there. I went to Aldi today. I had to go to Aldi, right? To get shower gel, basically. And someone told me they had some new beers there, by the way. He said, I spoke to someone on Skype and he said, look at these beers, man, Aldi. And I thought, well, I'll tell you what. I've got to go to Aldi anyway. And I'll pick some up. So I'm continuing my beer reviews tonight. I want to pack it in after these beers, you know what I mean? Take a bit of time. Look, I haven't got a double chin. You know, just a flabby spare tyre thing, you know. But yeah, had to try this, guys. Even though I don't feel like drinking now. It's from Aldi. It's a collaboration. Guess with who, guys? What have I been enjoying last night? That Bloom Seven Brothers. Look. Collaboration with Seven Brothers. The Hop Foundry. They're usually disappointing, the Hop Foundry beers, aren't they? But they're cheap and they get you there, you know what I mean? But Seven Brothers collab, had to try that. So you've got the sevens all over it. And this is actually lemonade flavour pale ale. Lemonade flavour pale ale. In partnership with Seven Brothers, the Hop Foundry, Aldi. And they were quite cheap. I can't remember the price, but you know what I mean. You know, they're usually quite. They're not like you know, the Tesco's, Asda, Sainsbury's, Morrison's thing. You know, lemon flavour pale ale, zesty and bright. This citrus-forward brew delivers a punch of fresh lemon zest notes and a hint of tartness, balanced by a clean malt base. A crisp, slightly dry finish makes it a perfect thirst quencher. Pale ale brewed with lemonade flavouring. And there's no list of ingredients. Lemonade flavouring. Nice can, but I can't peel it, they say. Can't collect the labels. Can't collect the labels. I've got a ton of cans under my sink, you know, like, you know, the area where your washing machine's supposed to be. There's like a little opening. And I just throw them in there, the cans, and I can't peel the labels off. And I've got quite a few, and I don't know what to do with them. I want to auction them on eBay or something. Say, you know, if I become a legendary beer reviewer. I'm also getting quite a few views on my beer reviews, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Considering I'm such an annoying, irritating man, like, you know what? You know, I know some people hate me out there. Hold on, I'll just ask Oscar, just ask me a question there. So, oh, yeah. Ah, right. Tenet and Batman. Just sending a message on my PlayStation to Oscar. Hold on a second. Oh, hang in there, hang in there. I'll try and do a little. I was going to do a speech tonight, a serious speech, but I thought I'll combine it with the beer review, alright. I want to talk about something, what's going on in Ireland and all that business, right? Um, Oh. Can I do? I've never tried doing a live stream with this machine with me netbook. You know, because you usually with a phone, it's a piece of piss, isn't it? Doing like live streams. I never really thought of live streaming and beer reviews. You know. Um, hold your horses. Yeah, I've got like. Oh, what do you say there? Ah, I missed the. Oh, uh, oh. What do you say? He was in Harry Potter, funny enough. Robert Pattinson, right? Okay. He sent me a picture up from a video game of an actor. And he said, "Who's the actor?" And I wouldn't have known his name if it was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know what I mean? But he's in tennis and he plays Batman. He's the latest Batman. Um, he's the latest Batman. He's going to go around Liverpool doing all the gangsters in. Right. Here we go. Seven Brothers and Hop Foundry. Let's get it open. Really enjoyed them blooms last night, you know, guys. Oh, I woke up today and I still had two in the fridge. I was like, oh, wow. And I finished them off, didn't I? It's like, go ahead. Really cracking beer, that Seven Brothers Bloom. Try it if you haven't tried it. But let's go. See what they come up with here. Hop Foundry is usually disappointing. You know, but good for the money. Yeah, that's weird. That looks like lemonade, doesn't it? I hate holding my glass with my left hand. It's like, because I've got to reach over to get to the camera. Wow, but that's quite safe, isn't it? Right up to the top. Sort of like a lemon orangey crush look, isn't it? Hazy. Just move my magic beans. These beans. I've got them, Alex, so you can watch the telly. I know you don't laugh. I used to do bananas, you know. I used to draw a pair of eyes. Have you seen my video on YouTube, Brucey Banana? You know, I'm going to resurrect Brucey Banana soon. But look, it's kind of dissipated quite swiftly. Usually a bad sign, or usually like a sour, isn't it, when it does that? But it's meant to be lemonade, flavoured pale ale. Smells quite fresh. Okay. Kind of citrusy, obviously. Can't really smell any lemon or nothing. The person who told me these were in the shop, like, he said it's not very, strong lemon flavour in it. Like, but I thought, with it being 7 Brothers, give it a review. And I got a couple more, like, from the same thing, the same collaboration, like, different flavours. If I can handle doing 3 beer reviews tonight. With every beer review comes a pint of beer. Which means, and I don't want to end up ill because I'm drinking too much beers. But anyway, yeah, it's got a nice, it reminds me of a lager, the aroma in a way, like. Not really much of a lemon aroma. But anyway, it's Hop Foundry and Seven Brothers collaboration. Lemonade flavour pale ale. 4.3%. Up hell yeah. definitely not much lemon there. I mean, just take into it. Well, it's meant to be lemonade flavour, isn't it, really? It's not exactly a lemon. You know that one that was Salt and Hooch did a collaboration, Twisting Me Lemons. That was a lovely beer that had a real fragrant taste of lemon, you know. And this, it's like a beer. It's quite, I should say, milky, creamy. Got a nice, almost caramelly vibe to it. Very delicate though. It's definitely thirst quenching. It's fizzy. It's fun. The aftertaste. Yeah, it's just sort of lingering, delicate maltiness, but not too big. You know, it's not like, it is more of a thirst quencher, this. Like a fun drink for the summer. Oh, yeah. 4.5. Did I say 4.3 before? 4.5%, sorry. Nice can design, isn't it? Shame I can't peel the label, guys. But yeah, what was I going to talk about? The stuff that's going down in Ireland, like, guys. Well, you know that Alistair Crowley fella? I don't like him at all, you know what I mean? I've never understood people buzzing off Alistair Crowley ever, like. But you know, he used to do these rituals, and he did a ritual, didn't he, where he was trying to summon this demon Charonzon or something from the abyss, you know, this demon, like. And trust me, guys, I've had my experience of monsters and creatures in when I've had like what we call bad magic mushroom trips. You know what I mean? I still went back for more, like, you know what I mean? But, you know. But anyway, Alistair Crowley was infamous for doing these ceremonies, trying to bring this monster out of the pit, right, and bring it into his world and then challenge it or whatever. I don't know what the point of that is. You know, trying to summon a beast and try and challenge it, right? It's a bit mad, isn't it? But I watched a video about it before. I was like looked into it, like, you know, this creature called Charonzon that's supposed to be a monster. And well, there's a certain person I used to watch on YouTube. I still watch him from time to time, and I've got a lot of respect for him as an artist. He's a brilliant. I won't name names or nothing like that, right, guys. I won't name names, but he's a very good artist, right? And he lives in Ireland. And a couple of years back, he was on his YouTube channel saying he was into Alistair Crowley, you see. You know, they'll say things like the Great Beast, Alistair Crowley. Like, the 666 numbers are referring to Emperor Nero in Rome being cruel to Christians. You don't understand that? So anyone who goes along with the Crowley thing is actually supporting Nero, really. But I don't know whether they're aware of that, like. And Nero was a real horrible man. Do you understand? He was very bad to Christians, you know what I mean? Not bad, that's quite kind of creamy in a way. Not amazing, like. But anyway, this dude on YouTube, right, he was coming on videos and he looked quite distressed and quite like, I could tell he'd been actually practicing these things, you know. And he was going, I've been doing like a ceremony to bring Charonzon out of the abyss, you know. He was dabbling with that kind of stuff. And I remember looking at him on the screen thinking, you want to be careful what you're messing with there, mate. It's like, you know, people do Ouija boards. There's loads of videos on YouTube of people who've done Ouija boards and then they can't get rid of a demon in the house or a bad spirit. You understand? Well, that's just the same principle, but even worse. It's even worse than doing a Ouija, that. You know, trying to summon that kind of thing. Now, the guy lives in Ireland. He did this practice where he was trying to summon it, right? And look at all the chaos that's arrived in Ireland recently. What we call, and you know, illegal immigrants, like men, openly boasting on their phones that they're going to have their way with the local women and stuff like that. They're not normal men, right? And they're not. Big mistake out there is everyone's saying things like these Islamics or these Muslims, and they're trying to relate everything that's going wrong to Islam and Muslims. Now, none of that stuff goes on. And, Muslims don't do that kind of thing. Islamic people who are devout and all that, like. I'm not religious, by the way. I'm just like sort of. I've got faith. I believe in God. Simple as right. But it's not the normal practice for Islamic people. Families. Remember, you'd be like mothers with children, things like that. They're not going on phone saying, "Oh, we're going to have sex with all the women and all this business." Do you understand this? The complete. So the news is like stirring up trouble, and it's going to make people try and have a dislike towards Islamic people or peaceful Muslims who are not, they're not illegal immigrants, and they're not boasting about like wanting to bang every bird with red hair, basically, or blonde, every blonde chick, There's right now, I was sitting there thinking, how is this possible? How could this be happening? Now, if you've got someone in the middle of Ireland who's raising these entities in the name of Aleister Crowley or whatever, like Caronzon or whatever, it's like it meant to be a creature of chaos. Then you've got like a bit of something going to go wrong in your area, do you understand? And I'm sure he might have summoned it into Ireland. And that's what. Now, don't get me wrong, the authorities should be stopping people, shouldn't they? The soldiers, there's all these soldiers and military people and special forces and all kinds of stuff. And they can't stop, like, a load of men who are not armed or carrying weapons. Well, in Ireland, he turned one dude over, didn't he? He went on his phone boasting about he was going to bang all the women or something. And they turned him over, vigilantes turned over his site. He was in a campsite in the woods, wasn't he? And he had loads of knives. Sure enough, he had loads of weapons for violence, you know what I mean? That's not a normal Muslim or normal Islamic person, guys, you know what I mean? That's nothing to do with Islam. That's something to do with a demon or a beast or a Caronzon type thing. Something not right, especially when they're boasting on the phones openly about wanting to do these things. What are they thinking? But they took to the streets in riots and all this stuff, haven't they, now in Ireland and stuff, like, because it's very bad in Ireland, apparently. Now, of all the places where it's really bad, this guy who likes Aleister Crowley's been practicing these, like, raised this demon from the abyss. I'm telling you, man. Because where there are demons, there are bad men. It's as simple as, it's in war zones, War is the devil's playground, and when there's no cameras watching and whatever, soldiers, British, foreign, American, there's always going to be naughty soldiers doing really bad things if you can get away with it. You know what I mean? I've seen enough evidence of that in my lifetime. So I just thought I'd talk about this, whilst doing a beer review. And say, what do you think, guys? You think I could be right? Now, remember, Ireland is part of the UK. We're all in the same sort of region. And we've got it coming to our shores as well, haven't we? Men masquerading as like they need help. And they're saying they're all men. They're all usually men. Not like you see in the street where you see like a Muslim family, you see the woman pushing the pram with a headscarf on or whatever, like just innocents with the kids and all that kind of stuff. I've sat in a car with someone once and he was driving around in Birkenhead and he saw a woman with a family just walking along, minding her own business. Totally innocent woman, you know what I mean? It's like, look at them, everywhere taking over. I'm sitting in the back of the car thinking, get your head right. You know what I mean? It's just overpopulation of the world. It's just people, likewise, British people in foreign countries and so on and so on. It's all everyone's exchanging on this thing, this ball called the Earth. So you know what I'm saying? There's someone out there, and this person who said that was a member of the army, by the way. He was in the army, like, so I think they're pumping them up to have, like, anti-Islamic tendencies, and that's why I think these bad guy immigrants are being allowed in. But correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if someone's summoning this Caronzon thing in the middle of Ireland, it's going to affect all of us, isn't it? Wales, England, Scotland, And that's just one of my little suspicions. That's what I've been trying to nail. I think what could possibly allow this or be causing this? It's a demon of chaos. It just wants to see men killing each other, basically, or doing bad things to women and stuff like that. Evil, right? So anyway, I just thought, I was going to do a proper speech about it and talk about it in more detail, but I thought, no, I'll just skate across the ice and just say, what do you reckon, guys? If anyone watches this video who just usually watches my beer reviews, what do you think? Someone who's into Aleister Crowley, 666, Emperor Nero. Remember, Emperor Nero was a bit of a monster, you know what I mean? There's something about Rome, isn't it? That's quite kind of wicked, And in the book and in the Bible, the book of Romans, is all about Romans that are converted and start following the true God. You know what I mean? It's like, it's there for Romans who want to cross over, isn't it? Instead of having gods and goddesses of everything, like. But anyway, just want to talk about it, but what do you reckon? Would summoning Corons on in the middle of Ireland cause a chaos? I think it would. Do you not realise it, like? Strange stuff indeed. People, I put a video up on my channel called Women Stop Calling Yourselves Witches, and I explain myself. And in the same way, I was going to do a similar thing, like, guys, stop supporting this Crowley stuff, or there's an entity called Lamb, who Crowley used to say used to communicate with him. Like got a big head like a light bulb, hasn't he? He looks like an alien grey, really. He actually looks like the clown in It. The film called It. I've done a talk about it on my channel somewhere on one of my live streams. I went in depth and talked about it, like. I've got some serious speeches on my channel if anyone looks like. And you might, if you don't show up, check the live ones, you know what I mean? There's a lot of speeches I did about things, cobblestones and stuff like that on the pavements, where I believe, pixies and demons can emerge from and stuff like that. I've done my own work, guys. I really know my stuff, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, and if the person's watching, I'm like, man, I'd be like thinking, I shouldn't have done this, trying to. He's a good fella. He's like a proper sound fella, but like, I've noticed, man, because Aleister Crowley did it, they think it's cool. My cousin used to do it. He was into Aleister Crowley, and he was a lunatic. You know what I mean? He was actually had all kinds of crap going on, right? It just so happens I saw a documentary about Crowley, and he said he killed a cat when he was young for like a, we're going to try killing the cat, like whatever, like. I mean, but I know one thing about cats, mate. If you kill them or harm them or you're cruel to them, they haunt you. They actually curse you. You know what I mean? All a big cat, a lion or a tiger, or when anyone shoots a big cat or something like that, they end up getting cursed. Right. So, and my cousin actually said it to me. He said, I killed a cat once because it was doing me head, and like, a neighbour's cat. And I was like, you didn't, did you? And there was nothing down for it. I was thinking, there's nothing down for you, mate. You're going to be cursed, or you get it, like, but because, and then I found out later on because Crowley did it. Well, that makes it alright then, doesn't it? Check out my channel, the creepiest Aleister Crowley lookalike. I put it on my channel. The video's called Creepiest Aleister Crowley Lookalike. And he's a person seen on British television. He's the ringer of him, and he's halfway through a sex change. He's a tranny, a trans person, like. It's a bit, these are all things that Crowley promotes, and swinging both ways and like experimenting with sex with men and all that kind of stuff. Nah, come on, guys. There's a demon behind all that, and you should know that. Like, get a bit of common sense prevail, you know what I mean? But if anyone's watching in Ireland, work it out, guys, and think about it. Because it's horrible what's going on. But don't get into like calling out people just because they're Muslims or from Islam. Because that's not true. You know what I mean? There's thousands, millions of people who are into Islam who are very well behaved and very nice people, and like, don't harm anyone. These things are demonic, guys. What we're talking about. They're associating all this chaos stuff with Islam. It's not true. But the beast behind all this Karonzon thing, could be responsible. Just have a think about it in the comments. Let me see what you think, because I'll do a proper talk about it, you see. It's a thirst quencher. It's very delicate. I can't taste any lemon. It's got a creamy vibe to it. It is very appetising. But there's no lemon flavour. I'm not getting it. Lemonade flavour. But yeah. Beer reviews. Stroke. Serious speeches. But anyway. I'm not really hot on this. I'm unfortunately I bought 2 cans of it thinking it'd be the best. There was 3 cans, these flavoured beers, different flavours. And obviously I bought 4 cans for a round number. And I got 2 of these ones, thinking the lemon ones are going to be my favourites, aren't they? There's not much lemon taste in it. I don't know, but it's quality, it's nice. For the hot Foundry beer, you know, you can see Seven Brothers have got some impact there, but nowhere near as delicious as that Bloom beer, guys, you know what I mean? Nice caramelly flavour to it. Head's completely dissipated. Yeah. I'm going to give that. It's not much to write home about. It's not mind blowing. It's good for the money. It's at £2 a can. I'm not sure. It's, they're affordable. And I'm feeling quite merry. 4.5%. Very delicate. Lovely face quencher. It'll be lovely in the summer. I think that's what's designed for. You know what I mean? For the garden, for the barbecue. And I'd give it a 7 out of 10 because to me personally, it's, look at the can. It looks like all kinds of bells and whistles going on there. Like. That can probably taste more lemony than the beer. The beer that can probably tastes more like lemon than the beer. Very delicate lemon flavour, very delicate. But yeah, a 7 out of 10 with that one, guys. It's it's a thirst quencher. Alright, comments below if you're interested in the subject matter. And what do you think, guys? You think that somebody in Ireland could have summoned something that shouldn't be there and it's causing all the chaos? I don't know, because Ireland's usually concrete for defending itself, if you know what I mean. You know, they're infamous for it, aren't they? You know what I mean? Whereas this stuff is getting a bit silly, isn't it? You know, but don't be kicking off any Irish people watch this program. Don't be kicking off on people just because they're from Islam or Muslim. That's ridiculous. There's something in between there. There's something not right. I think it could be something to do with that. I think it could be something to do with the beast. Bit of a dark subject for me to talk about on a beer review, but that's a roller coaster ride channel for you. Thanks for watching. 7 out of 10. I'll see you later.